Let's do it. Yeah, I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. Flex, that's right. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. Yeah. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. You know, for sure. I can't lie to you, bitch. No, I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. Flex, that's right. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. Yeah. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. You know. I can't lie to you, bitch. Let me falling in a hole too, girl. I just wanna hold you. Do you remember where I told you? Yeah, that's right. Hope you don't get amnesia, girl. Yeah, hope you don't think I need you, girl. But if we together, you complete my world. Never let the swan see your pearl. Shit so sick you might need to earn. You're the play but I need a burn. Yeah. And traveling on earth got you in a maze. Looking at the sun got you in a daze. Uriel take apples and make apple cider. Uriel take lemons and make lemonade. Same situation, just a different day. Way too hot, I ain't trying to chill. All you motherfuckers talking good ass game, but I can really tell that you lying for real. Look the powder, catch a thrill, push the higher the hill. Because I ain't really trying to die in the field. You wanna tell me something but you hide in the field. You got a nigga looking back like you childish as hell. Because no, I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. Flex, that's right. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. You know, for sure. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. Flex, that's right. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. You know, for sure. I can't lie to you, bitch. All you gotta do is just call on the phone. But I can see it now that you hardly at home. You lie about every little goddamn thing. You even lie about the damn thoughts you had on. Think we need to separate like Tommy and Ghost. I'm feeling like Clyde when Bonnie got ghosts. You really take a look at the universe. You looking at a whole bunch of stars in a hole. Why you lie? You ain't even gon' have my back. Girl, can't tell me why you act like that. I smoke back to back, no cataracts. I'm about to tap that ass, that's a matter of fact. No Chipotle, girl, but that's a rap. Girl, little pussy gon' snap right back. Sticking with the stick, right a tat tat tat. And you ain't know that I can hit it from the back like that. Yeah. Together, no pro-tools. You gassed up, but you still got no juice. Archangel Uriel just spoke true. My spirit bomber just like Goku's. Supreme Kai, I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. Flex, that's right. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. You know, for sure. I can't lie to you, bitch. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. I can't even lie, I ain't gon' hold you. You know, for sure. I can't lie to you, bitch. No.
Yo, please hit that like button on your way in. Algorithm, yada, 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 algorithm views, visibility. Anyway, speaking of visuals, welcome to your Venus in Sagittarius transit talk. This is the Peace Dealer. And we're gonna break down the Venus in Sagittarius transit that is taking place during the end of Libra all throughout Scorpio season. Actually, it was because Venus was in Sagittarius, I made the prediction that we're going to see wildfires and someone was going to get burned alive. And the very next day, someone got cooked alive in a Walmart. And then the day after that, children got burned alive in Gaza, apparently again. And that just kind of follows the theme of fire sign transits and wildfires. I think Jupiter 2019 in Sagittarius brought like the wildfire in Australia that I think killed 1 billion animals. So yeah, other than that, I think Saturn in Pisces is responsible for all these floods. I'm not going to say the planet Saturn itself is causing these floods from back then, but it's interesting to see that symbolic representation in a water sign and that happening. Obviously, floods are going to happen every year, regardless. Like water issues and fire issues are not, but it's just interesting to see, certain correlations. We don't have to say they're causations, but we don't have to say that officially. It's we don't want to post ad hoc fallacy that. But that being said, you know what I mean? The energy is intense. We are in the darkness of Scorpio and it's made itself well known, So yeah, I'm just going to let you know right now. First of all, the dark side is losing. And it's so amazing to see these stupid little bitches. They're squirming, they're cringed out, and they're losing. All right. Many of you have been dealing with a collective influence that is so fake. Like they've just they've just been like these beings know how to put on like a good front. But now what happens when that front cracks to pieces? And all the values that they stood on are crumbling because they lived a lie the whole time. You know what I'm saying? The front they put coming back to haunt them. If I can actually just make corny jokes the rest of this transit, I'll be good. But like, it is so satisfying to see they're going through withdrawal. A large part of that is seeing you win. And like, it's very important because you have goals that might be, huge or you have a level you want to be, and you may not realize that you even reaching an inch towards those goals puts them out of position or compromises where they feel comfortable with you lower than or where they see you as less. Once again, whenever I really speak about theys or outside influences, I'm referencing squares, oppositions that take our awareness and have us deal with outside influences. That isn't necessarily the only indicator, but when I say this could apply to any influence that sees you as less than you are. Okay. Social collective, meaning out in society and every single, every other society that makes up the collective. Ephesians 6:12, what Neptune and Saturn and Pisces is helping you discern through your imagination, through this sixth sense, is that, just like your cells work in tandem, they're all individual cells, but they all work as a part of your body. Just like there's a sea of fish in an ocean, humanity does play out like one body, like a lot of things that we're collectively influenced by are subliminally planted in, not even out of a conspiracy sense. We just take in so much information. I mean, honestly, say there isn't conspiracy behind it, but we just take in so much information. So like the whole notion of the average person, being programmed with a whole bunch of belief systems and just ideas that they may think are their own ideas is commonplace. You've experienced this, like everyone experiences this. And in being conscious, you learn how to discern your own authentic thoughts versus thoughts you might be programmed or conditioned to think. And then, of course, now you tap into that. What I'm really saying here is you're learning to see beyond. So Pisces is helping you perceive beyond the physical, to not look at the individual human as the source of your anger or the target of your anger, to look at the mannerisms, behaviors, the social, cultural, collective influences that now have them play out as an instrument of this, okay? Because it's going to help you see that many of the things we're experiencing are caused from metaphysical influence and mechanics beyond our brain's ability to perceive, all right? You may as well say everything, just like more than 94% of the universe is unobservable. Okay. That being said, Sagittarius is going to complete this belief of how we perceive the unseen by giving us that visual of the meaning of how we've constructed our beliefs. And as we will see, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun are going to go through Sagittarius in order for, at a heart level, our brain processing and our consciousness to visualize the meaning. As Taurus is our natural senses, but Sagittarius takes the input output that our brain in Gemini and Virgo observe and analyze, and now we see with our mind's eye. So Taurus is your actual physical eyes, and Sag is your mind's eye that takes that input and is able to now see into the meaning of everything that you're physically observing. Okay, so if you didn't have Sagittarius, you would just observe stuff, but you wouldn't know what it means. You wouldn't see what it means. You would just see like, oh, you know, like I don't have Sagittarius, so I'm just gonna see like, oh yeah, you know, she hugged me, and you know, she was laughing nervously, and my friends are gonna be like, you idiot, that means she's into you. You see the subtle difference? Like I might be able to, see what's happening, but I may not see into the meaning. That's the subtle difference between Taurus and Sag. All right. So Venus, Mercury, and the Sun are getting ready to show you. Now let's talk about the significance mathematically of why, okay, Sagittarius transits are very significant. Let's go back to March. If we go back to March, okay, we're going to figure out, first of all, we had this eclipse in Aries, and everything since Aries has now harvested through Libra. Mercury, Venus, they've all opposed these points. This represents the unlocking of our character that at this point we're expressing and unlocking towards other people. Then we want to look at one of the most important aspects of this year, the Sun, Neptune, and we also can't forget Sun, Saturn. I'm biased because I'm pretty Saturnian, but this aspect right here, y'all, this was it. Where were you March 3rd? We want to reference this because last year we actually had this conjunction in Aquarius. So that means this is the first time in quite literally 30 years since we had a Sun-Saturn conjunction in the sign of Pisces. And 2026 is going to be the first time since 1997 that we're going to have a Sun-Saturn conjunction in Aries. That's why the New World Order officially starts 2026, but we're going to step into it 2025. So really go back and ask yourself, where were you? Okay, 2024, March 1st, all right? Because this was since 1995, the very last time we activated. All right, let me make sense of this, because Saturn was in Pisces last year. It was in Pisces March of last year, right? But we didn't have the Sun-Saturn conjunction there to activate this end of the world sequence, this reality warping sequence. Now we've done that. We're going to do it again next year. Next year is when it's going to spill into Aries, but that's also why technically 2025 is going to be that transition year with the eclipse. And then next year, we'll have the conjunction with Aries. As you can see, the Sun will be on Aries. That's going to be the official start with Uranus ready to go into Gemini. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So with that being said, This conjunction right here is part one of the world ending. But what it means for you personally is you signed a contract with karma. You took 30 years, especially if you're in your 20s, you've never gone through this before, but you took 30 years of going through karmic lessons, but really adjusting your beliefs. And now what you activated was a brand new 30-year cycle relative to, all right, the integrity, Saturn, of your beliefs, Pisces. This is one fundamental reason why everyone who's been going out sad, everyone who's been exposed, they didn't have integrity in what they believed. Everyone has been tested around, okay, you believe in this, you believe in that, demonstrate it. Do you practice what you preach? Everyone has. And coming on to here, you signed a contract and you told the universe, this is what I believe. This is, okay, Saturn is a totality. Saturn represents the totality of the physical material universe. Uranus is after this in Aquarius, which is the causal realm of the mind. It's alien. It's everything outside the physicality of the universe. And then Neptune is the astral realm of your imagination. Neville Goddard calls us God. And this is going to represent everything that's beyond, all right, the universe. Okay. Hence the mutable nature, like an imagination. You can believe something now and then you can change your imagination. But Saturn in Pisces is now going to represent the totality of everything you believe. So since 95, all right, just look at the world since 1990. You could look at the world from 71 to 95. And you can look at the world from 95 to 2024. And you can just see collectively what the world believed back then versus what the world believes now. Natural passage of time, which Chronos, Saturn rules, timing, right? So in understanding this, okay, everything that you have been believing since 95, or if you were born before then, you're crystallizing here. Do you have the integrity to literally stand on business and represent these beliefs? What did you choose to believe in March? Where you made wishes, you made beliefs like, I believe I could achieve this. I believe I could achieve this. I believe I'm this. Because Pisces before Aries of I am is the self-concept. And so you do law of assumption and they talk about self-concept and belief. That's all Pisces. That's zodiac science. Aries is I am. Before Aries is I believe. You have to have a belief that will directly apply to the actions you take. If I believe that I can talk to that hot shorty right there, I'm going to talk to her. If I don't believe I can, then I am going to inhibit myself and do it. I don't think I am someone that can do this. So that's showing you how they're linked. So everything that you believe, we stepped into April and you activated individual actions that reflected this. And throughout the next 6 months, you, through Virgo season, harvested this, all right, 6 months later, which is why Virgo season was so significant. And this represented the real analysis and expression of these beliefs through your behavior. You had actually formed behavioral patterns that match with the beliefs you activated. Through Gemini, where you broke the seeds you planted in March. So Dev said, are the seeds we planted in March sprouting? Great question. The seeds you planted in March began to sprout in June when we had the 90-degree angle to Saturn and we started evolving our mindset. Those seeds broke through the ground in the form of a mindset, an attitude. I believe I could talk to her. And because you believe you could talk to that fine hot shorty across the bar, or for you ladies, because you believe you could pull that handsome young chocolate man, or just man in general, you started to, in maintaining this belief before the seeds grew through the ground, and you had to have faith they grow through the ground, you started to integrate a thought process, a mindset. Oh, you know what? I think I can do it like this. I think I can do it like that. If you didn't believe this, the thoughts would not align. So the seeds sprouting through the ground in June made you have to adjust your thinking so that they can align with these beliefs. Hence the tension of 90-degree squares. And that's why it was such a good question that Dev just asked. Because once we stepped into September, those seeds that sprouted, now we started to harvest. So they no longer sprouted. We harvested those seeds. Those seeds we harvested became behaviors where we are living our dreams and beliefs. I have several examples of what I believed in March and what I was able to integrate in September. And now the reason why that's important is because I've shown you the process of activation in March, integration in June, harvest in September, and now where are we at? We're getting ready to come into completion in Sagittarius, where by the time we do have the sun that's squaring Saturn in Sagittarius, we are retrograding our brain processing function opposite Jupiter to show us the completion of the harvest. So we're harvesting our behavior in September. We expressed it during Libra. I told you so. See, I made my beliefs real. And in breaking through in this expression, we're seeing the results. Hey, this is what I believed in March. Look, bitch, I told you so. Yeah, I told you so, son. We're not there yet. See, Sag is where we get wild with it. We're still in part 2, where we're still pouring a little bit of sauce. We need to add tension. We need to get people pissed off at us because they really thought they could tell us otherwise. You feel me? But like, other than that, you know, the end of the year is going to be quite the climax. And it's very key to see that your brain is going to be reevaluating, because now you have to change your thinking around what you thought was possible and believed was possible. You're seeing is possible. You've achieved it. All right. And this is the most important part of the process, because now you're going to see the meaning of it. It's been real since Virgo. Now you're going to see it everywhere versus you actually producing it. All right. Which means what's happening now is quite literally preparing you, as Venus will be in Capricorn, but right now it's already in Sagittarius. So this square to Saturn is going to be one of the first indicators and most important parts of this Venus transit. We will do the Mercury transit in a couple weeks, and we will do the peace report with the sun next month. But of course, why Venus is significant is she is the winner this year. She's going to reach Pluto first, okay? Which means our heart has been leading. For reference, last year, it was actually Mars, our sexual private parts, our desire, okay? Because our heart retrograded. Now this year, our desire is going to retrograde, all right? And our heart is going to be leading, all right? So Venus, when she takes a leading position, polishes the space ahead of us. This is not like how it was last year. Last year, Mars was fucking shit up. Boom, I'm here. Boom, 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 boom. And then Venus would trail and be like, damn, Mars, you made a crazy mess, and clean it. Okay, that's not happening this year. This year, Venus is coming in ahead of time, and she's cleaning everything up. She's polishing, she's making it beautiful, so that when our brain and consciousness goes through, oh my God, and you experience this. This happened September, this happened Libra. Because Venus polished it ahead, all the receipts, when we were in September, which I'll show you, as you can see a few months ago, we can look at the sequence of Venus. Venus is smoking everybody. First of all, she is not playing. Like, see how she's ahead of the game? Cool. So when we entered Virgo season in September, we were just like, wow, she organized all the receipts. She did a thorough job. Like, yeah, all the receipts that they were talking about, these receipts are here. These receipts are here. I put these receipts in a box, sprayed some perfume. Like, we need to give Aphrodite credit. Like, she's been hooking it up. And now it's in Sagittarius. So your vision, the meaning of everything is going to be polished. We don't want to say rose tinted glasses. That's more Piscean energy, but it's going to add a wanderlust to how your heart is going to explore moving forward, to how your heart is going to take risks, and it's going to play with experiences to see if this is what it wants to do. In other words, Venus is going in her hoe phase, and she's going to hoe it out because she wants to have fun. Then it's going to go into Capricorn, clean herself up, and she's going to, not like, it doesn't have to be that phase, but let's just be honest. All right. But with that being said, some people will say she goes through her phase 2 times, one in Gemini and one in Sagittarius. And that's just how I know y'all hate Gemini and Sagittarius. And it's cool. It's cool. But that being said, you know what I mean? This is going to be a very exciting transit. All right. The things your heart is going to unveil to you will, in preparation for your brain and your awareness to now see this, you're going to be inspired. So while you're being aware of psychoanalysis, right, your heart is being inspired by what it could visualize. So that's the first thing I really want to get, or the next thing I really want to get through here. Venus is polishing ahead of time and preparing through these angles what we will inevitably be aware of and, of course, process. So, of course, Venus started off in the first decan, okay? And if we get to where we're at now, it didn't hit any major aspects, so we could just skip it. Boom, 9 degrees. It had the trine to the north node, and that trine to the north node is a Sagittarian 240-degree signature that will be complete 5 or 4 degrees Capricorn, okay? So this is going to, of course, polish and provide amazing opportunity to see how relationships and your desires align with what you're meant to do and who you're meant to be, okay? Visualization, law of assumption techniques, you will see quicker results for. I literally am living proof of this yesterday, and I know you are too, all right? And you're going to see, that's the thing, you're going to start to see more of why this works. And it's an illusion. It's an illusion because it's always have worked. But now it's like seeing something that's always been there, but now the scales are falling from your eyes because you've peeled another layer of the onion back. All right. So this 9 degree is important, but let's go to where it's going to really be important. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Boom, shakalaka. This 12-degree square. Wow, I really just said boom, shakalaka. This 12-degree square is very important because it is the very first of these personal planets and this luminary to reach the finish line and complete with Saturn. These are just facts. This isn't speculation. This could be visibly observed in the sky. Here's the date. This is it. Based on the ecliptic, not the constellations. We don't do sidereal. We do tropical. Okay, seasonal. So this is a 270-degree angle of Venus to Saturn. And of course, for reference, if we go back, we will determine that Venus was conjunct Saturn in March. This is where, after our conscious and brain, our heart made the contract and then our desire. All right. And once again, like, you have our conscious awareness, then you have Mercury, Venus, and Mars. That's what trails the sun. That's the personal. Every other planet is kind of outer, social, collective. Okay. So this now tied your integrity beliefs to how you apply it in relationships. What is it that you know your worth, and what is it you believe you want to achieve in relationships? Well, for those of you who have not compromised because you're not soft, congratulations, because now you're getting ready to see the completion of that. Now you have tied through this integrity of maintaining, right? Where if you fluctuated, if you've lost integrity, you're going to have to sow what you reap, what you've sowed. All right. And you're going to see that we're all magic. This is Sagittarius is high chaos magic, high magic, chaos magic, living light magic. All right. It has a mind of its own. That's why it's wild as fuck. But that being said, this is going to show you the mechanics of what you've been imagineering. Another relationship with Pisces and Sag is Sag is the visible light that in squaring Pisces will show you beyond the unseen and help you see into the understanding of unseen metaphysical principles and mechanics that you can't just see physically. They're just like nuances and an extra sense through patterns that won't really be the most conclusive. Unlike when it squares Virgo. Virgo is analytical. We have details, we have facts, we have data. Like that one's not a question mark, right? And we saw that during the squares. So, you know, congratulations. By the time we step into the 27th of October before this new moon, and the moon is analyzing this psychoanalysis. For context, I think the CIA is like a Virgo Sun, Scorpio Moon, or vice versa. What are the odds that analysis and psychoanalysis happen to be the zodiac sign of the CIA of analysis and you know, investigations? But this is going to be a very interesting grand mutable cross where our entire perspective is continuing to change. This is a game changer. And this represents the fulfillment and completion of your heart's promise. This was God's promise to your heart. Hey, if you stick with this, you will get this. This is it. This is the fulfillment. So you've been harvesting the field. Now you're seeing the results. And then that's going to come back around. We're going to do it the next round in March at the final level. Okay. For reference, 2024 was to activate this end phase sequence. And 2025 is going to conclude the end phase sequence. 2024 brought us out of the old to begin the ending. And then 2025 is going to conclude the ending by bringing us into the new. And then 2026, we start the new. And thankfully it's October. So you've experienced this. It's no longer a theory. Like it's confirmed. Your experience is confirmed that this is the sequence and dance. And it's very visible right now. And it's really pretty freaking awesome. New rollouts of technology, AI going crazy. And yeah, should be terrifying. So this square is going to imagineer this integrity so that, first of all, anything in your vision that doesn't align with your beliefs must be changed. And anything about your beliefs that doesn't align with this vision must be changed. This is also where you're going to come into the rewards through Capricorn of your heart. And you're going to be seeing results in these relationships. This is especially going to be gratifying for those of you who have really suffered or experienced heartbreak or just struggle in these partnerships. All right. This may, if anything, begin to feel like a major change. Well, you've completed the heart cycle. It gets better, ladies and gentlemen. After this, well, we're going to now also begin to harvest the opposition to Jupiter. And that's what brings me to the crux of the name of this transit talk, Love Level Up. So as we are completing God's promise on your life, we're beginning to harvest the leveling up of your love life, the evolution of your financial money, of your finances, of your ability to manifest money. Okay. This is getting ready to change your income tax bracket if you still pay taxes for some reason. And why this is also important is that you are going to now see the effect of how much your heart has evolved, of how much your tastes have leveled up, of how much more presence you bring into each relationship. And it's going to be amazing. For reference, we can just go back 6 months ago, where of course, well, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, where of course, would you look at that? We had Venus, conjunct Jupiter at the very end of Taurus. See, no cap in my rap. Boom. As you can see, this is activation and evolution, which we're going to do every year. Every year, Venus is going to cross Jupiter. And that's going to activate a new cycle where we activated the identity last year. Now we activated the value, which, by the way, cha-ching, this one aspect alone is why all of you are getting rich. And this is where, like, you can't necessarily just see the aspect. I mean, oh, how come I'm not rich yet? That's exactly like planting a seed. And then the next day you're like, how come it's not a tree yet? How come my plant hasn't grown yet? Time. These things take time. And that's why I make it a point to just show you the math. So, you know, if some of you are rushing the process, I'm showing you the math like, hey, we're not even there yet. And if it gives you an idea to link that math to what you experience, you feel me? So what we have activated around this period has effectively reached its harvest point, non-surprisingly, of coursey, on my 20-degree sun in Gemini with Jupiter. All right, this right here is going to be phenomenal. We also want to see the odds. What are the odds? How can I not screw up this transit? Stop listening to other fucking people. Stop listening to other people's advice about you, and you didn't ask for their advice. They're not giving you advice. They're trying to manipulate you so that you can fit in their box. That's why they're trying to mask their suggestions as advice. Don't listen to anyone that's not you unless they're challenging your integrity. And if your integrity is off, you need that challenge to correct yourself. If you're in integrity, stop. You will screw yourself up trying to perform for other people. But if you maintain the truth and be yourself, yeah, it may turn off some other people. You may even lose opportunities, but you won't screw this up. Another way to screw this up, another way to not screw this up is to not be a coward. And to not be willing to actually, you know, leap outside your comfort zone. And I don't mean being tricked out of your position because people are saying you're scared. I mean in a sense where things you really desire, because Venus is going to flame up your heart's desire. And you're going to see plays you can make, actions you can take, things you can facilitate. Be first before you do and have. But if you don't do that because you're worried about stuff, that doesn't align with the integrity of your beliefs. And you're going to screw this up. All right. Really just by not, you know, claiming what's yours. And refusing to believe in yourself. Right. But that being said, great question. This opposition is not only happening after we activate this new wisdom and energy and transformation, which with which our brains will begin to now process this higher meaning, but it's also going to be trining Chiron. So what are the odds that we're going to have the 20-degree opposition to Jupiter and Mars is going to have the 29-degree opposition to Pluto? The universe is cooking 2 days before the election. So November 3rd will definitely be an interesting point with heightened tensions and, you know, something to keep in mind. All right. This opposition is going to represent the evolution of not only a maximum level of quality and value and worth. So whatever coins you invested in, whatever activity or services you invested in, you're going to start to harvest the results for those, okay, before we complete that harvest. And if we think that Jupiter in Gemini is the evolution of your mindset, communication, and attitude, well, then Sagittarius of your philosophy is now you being able to show people what you mean by what you say. Every which way you've evolved your vocabulary by Sagittarius season, you're fully expressing that. Whereas we've tapped into bits and pieces of this, as it was in September, we had to analyze, okay, this is an evolved vocabulary, but some of the stuff we saying isn't grounded in reality. Boom, we've integrated that. Now you're going to express that because we have receipts now. And you're going to be flame throwing and torching people ruthlessly. Just ask Dreaming with Tess and Devin. All right. They were born with flamethrowers. They roast people every day. Okay. And you're going to tap into what that feels like. I mean, can you imagine just bringing a flamethrower with you everywhere? Like, what? Like, really? Is that even allowed? Oh my God, you didn't have to. I was just asking you a question. Like, what the heck? So, like, the speed with which activity develops throughout this period will be intense with Scorpio, and it's just going to be wild and ratchet with Sagittarius. Okay, no offense. The trine to Chiron is making a 240-degree Sagittarius signature. So it's going to ascend and show us higher into the meaning of how we are healing our ego vulnerabilities and pride issues in our ego, healing the power of our own authenticity, and showing how we express this in love. But that being said, this is leveling up your love life. This is leveling up your finances. This is leveling up your valuing yourself, because you're going to be actively expressing and showing it as Venus is polishing how you're going to begin to see things. Happy birthday, Darcy. Okay. So with that being said, first of all, for those of you who would actually like a transit talk, I'm sorry. If you would like a live reading and you want me to see how Venus and Sag will affect your chart, click the description box below. You can join, you can pay PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Super Chat, and you will join the queue. Please email me your natal chart or just tell me your sun, moon, and rising. For those of you who would like a 15 or 30-minute report going into how Venus and Sag will influence you over the next 3 to 6 months, you can use the discount code Venus and you will get 50% off of any transit forecast from my website, the report or the consultation where we're one-on-one. Okay. When I see the discount code Venus, that's going to let me know, okay, you want me to focus on how Venus and Sag will level up your finances, your love life. We're going to look at where it is, where Sag is in your chart, what house it is, and what aspects it's making. And you know, I got you. That being said, after we really cross the finish line with Saturn, and then we begin to harvest this evolution, this is going to completely change, all right? Completely Saturn, mutable change, how much more enhanced you've worked through the kinks and are just going to be spitting fire. You're just going to be shining. And shining attracts shade, which is why I brought up in the beginning the saltiness of the same influences that were trying to make fun of you before, that were trying to on standing on false values and a lack of integrity because they cut corners, thinking that, you know, even though your actions expose their falsities just by you living in truth, they thought they could play you. And now you're starting to see the reverse and turnaround of that. This is all predicated on the fact that you've maintained integrity, because the universe doesn't play favorites. We might think we're chosen ones. We might think that, oh yeah, you know, we're spiritual. The universe doesn't care about that. There are a lot of people say they're spiritual who just don't have integrity. And so they're reaping what they sowed. So this is all mathematical. Like everything since March you have done, that's what you're reaping. And that's what takes that's what takes this outside of blaming the stars, because we're co-creating with these placements. And we know that everything that we experience is really just based off of what we put in alignment with these aspects. All right. In knowing that this 20-degree mark is going to really kick things off right before the elections. And that's what now makes the next few days very interesting, because while Venus will, this is right after the elections, while Venus is beginning to quincunx and transform this Uranian aspect that was opposite previously, innovating the unconventional nature of our value and how much, automatically we can just make dough. The square to Neptune is what's very concerning. It's going to have us see beyond illusions that have been stacked on us since June. And this will open up throughout the rest of the year opportunities for people to just make up shit and lie. Oh my God, it's crazy. No, like, I'm not hating on Pisces and Sag, but like, let me tell you something. When Gemini and Virgo start to talking, they be thinking we nerds. Okay, Gemini has a very playful way of just giving information, and Virgo will feel a certain way because Virgo's really doing the analysis. But have you heard Virgo talk? Like, they're just so analytical, like nerd, like no one listens to Virgo. So, we have Gemini say it in a childish way, but Gemini will sound like a geek sometimes too. Sagittarius and Pisces, everyone listens to them. Sagittarius gets all passionate. Yeah, cheeseburgers are like dumplings, and you just need a cheeseburger to have a dumpling. And everyone's like, yeah, like Sagittarius would be like, yeah, because when you see cheeseburgers with a dumpling, and dumplings help you really think about who you are as a person, and people are like, mm-hmm. And Pisces will just start emitting emotion, like, I just needed to know that you were there with me, and they just make shit up. They just make shit. Like, Pisces and Sagittarius will teach you that people care about pathos more about logos. Gemini is observation. Virgo is analysis. That's logos. Pisces and Sag is pathos. Pisces and Sag could just go full pathos, tug at your emotions, and make shit, like create shit out of thin air. Sagittarius, especially the men, will start beef with you, and then when you get back at them, they'll say you started it. These are like real life menaces. Not every Sag man, hopefully, but like, that's just the principle. Like, they know, and they probably don't even think they're making shit up. That's why we need Virgo and Gemini. We need a Virgo to be like, hey, we have receipts, bro. Like, you literally said, and they still want to go. So like, it is what it is. So with Pisces and Sagittarius both being squared and only having Gemini, which is just ideas, this can open up a lot of BS and effery. People like Sag is the visual, and Pisces is like a belief. So this is where we have doctored images. This is where in a moment you're seeing something you don't know is fake, right? It could be an AI image that people think is real. We don't have the necessary Virgo analysis to fact check. Doesn't mean that fact checking won't happen, but don't trust everything you see. All right. Don't trust everything that's presented in a certain way. That's the negative aspect. The positive aspect is going to be seeing through illusions. Seeing through the illusions you casted on yourself regarding rose-tinted glasses with people in relationships, seeing through the illusions of you not being worthy enough, seeing through the illusions of people who may be a lot more into you than you probably for some reason didn't believe, seeing through lies told to you. This is all going to be predicated on your integrity. All right. So by the time we actually have this square at 27 degrees, boom, we've completed the promise God made on our heart with Neptune, the dream. Okay. And that's the importance of these Saturn Neptune squares. What's also important to see how our brain is catching up. It's going to retrograde. Otherwise, Mercury would overtake everything. But Mercury is also, and that's very important, the 1-2 step. As our heart is starting to wrap around what we see, we love, our brain is going to start processing, and then we'll eventually be conscious and aware of it. But we're going to start thinking about it while we're still aware of transforming and psychoanalyzing. And yeah, this transit, albeit which may be overlooked, is going to really set up the end of the year very finely. And of course, we will end with the semi-sextile to Pluto getting ready to go back into Capricorn. And by this point, it should just be outright pandemonium 5 days after the election. relative to who's winning. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, that in a nutshell really kind of breezes through and explains the next month ahead. Okay. Now that we've spoken on the math, all right, I think it's important for us to really establish the deeper significance of what this math is telling us. You're going to see that you're her. You're going to see that you're him, and you're going to apply it. I mean, you already believed it. You already thought it. You already practiced it and made it a habit. And now you're going to see the results. All right. You're going to be in situations where everything you've learned since March, you're fully applying. Hey, baby girl, you know, I was seeing you across the bar and I was just like, how you doing? My name is Garfunkel. I'm a sexy chocolate smooth man. Oh my God, Garfunkel, you're so cute. Yeah, you know what it is. I seen you looking at me across the bar. Hey, you want to do this later? Boom. Oh, you got her number? She wasn't talking to anyone. Boom. You have seen the results. And back then in March, you were like, I don't know. I believe I could talk to the sexiest woman ever, but can I do it? I believe. And now you've made it happen. Oh my God, you called me baby girl. I love it when men call me that. Oh. All right, this maybe is not a realistic example at all, unless I was Ryan Gosling or like, you know, someone like super attractive, but like it is what it is. You feel me? So it's definitely going to open up very wild and amazing opportunities. All Sagittarius wants to ask you is, did you die? But did you die though? Yeah, you almost died 5 times in a row. Yeah, you probably fainted and questioned if you're doing the right things in life, but did you die? Yeah, you may have gotten mugged by gangsters or almost shot, but did you die? Okay, so if you did die, if you're not gonna die, it's worth risking it. This is how Sagittarius think. I had to reevaluate why I would ever even date a Sag woman. It's like, do I want to die? Like if I was a Leo, that'd be different. But like, now I sound like a bitch. Anyway, other than that, this is just very amazing because you're going to be seeing how much more powerful, influential, you know, on point you are. You're also going to be roasting people. In fact, it's the best way to hit on someone. Just start roasting them genuinely. They might slap you, but still. I love Sag women, Devin. That's why I had to ask myself, is it worth dying for? And I think it is. And I don't know why. I don't like that. The Taurus and the Cap in me is like, bro, Cancer, you can get with Taurus is right next to you. Is it worth it to risk your life for Sag? Now the sex is that good, but still, do I want to risk my life? And these are the dilemmas that I've been having. You feel me? And it is what it is. Okay. I literally had to really just accept if a sexy young Sagittarius woman wanted to pull me and make me hers, can I even resist that? And I just don't know how I feel about that. You got a Hipsy from me? Interesting. I just logged into Hipsy after new Hipsy request. Oh, beautiful. Okay. I just seen the request. It looks like okay, so Darcy, thank you. You know what? I'm gonna just do it on here because the Hipsy request, it has to be done offline, but I can just do it on here. So I'll do it on here for you. I got you. Appreciate you. Could you please email me your natal chart, unless I already have it? And not even just Sag, you know? Thankfully, they may not be checking for me like that, but I may not always have that luxury, you know? And then men are waking up. Men are, and this is where we come into magic, manifestation, and you know, witchcraft. And this is another thing. Men are starting to wake up to the fact, right, that women can just decide oh, Darcy, I'll do this offline for you. This looks personal. Oh, I can do it on here. Okay, cool. I got you. I'll do it on here. So yeah, you know, men are starting to wake up to the fact that women can just decide to use witchcraft and manifest them in their lives. Like, as a man, I'm visibly shaken. You mean to tell me I could just be minding my business and then you just warp my reality because you lit a candle to the goddess Aphrodite, and now I missed my bus so I can meet you, and now we have 2 children. I don't know how I feel about that. And you're going to be seeing more of these dynamics, especially if you're a lady. Like, you're just gonna be like, oh, it's happening. Anyway, you know, Sag, I like to think, answers the question where, you know, Pisces why, Gemini what, Virgo how, and then Sag answers what it means, but it also lets you see the location where, right? So this is going to really give you the visual so that when we get into Capricorn, we can make the final action and direction. All right. So this is also going to show you how you've leveled up over the past 6 months. Coming into March, from the end of this year to March, is you harvesting this evolution, and it's you completing this promise of karma and completion, or completing this promise of karma, or what you've reaped relative to your karma. All right. It's definitely very revealing once again, because a whole lot of how this will play out puts you more than ever in a position to openly, you know, especially those of you with Venus and Sag returns, be the change you want to see. And as Sagittarius is the creator as well as the archer, it now applies this analysis of how you want to live out your beliefs by now actively showing others and creating it, whether you lead by example or you facilitate the experience and let it happen to you, both of which in a way are happening at the same time. So this is going to be the beginning of showing you these major results. Okay. And I feel like it's definitely going to very powerfully influence the way moving forward you'll more than ever be in a position to shift your perspective of what direction you want to take with that. So congratulations, you know what I mean? You're finally in a position to see the results you've worked hard for. You're going to see this in the relationships you are in with other people, in the initiative you're taking with other people, in the developments you're experiencing with yourself and others. And it's going to polish the complete expression of supernatural powers and abilities you've been activating and awakening for the past couple of years, with which intelligence organizations over the world may have actually been monitoring you because they do want to suppress the nature of how people can use these abilities to wake up the masses. And even though this sounds like a full-blown conspiracy theory, you can actually just experience this yourself relative to how moving forward you'll see glitches in the matrix, and you're going to be able to account for an extra dimensional sensory capability that does not rely on your physical sight, but can confirm what you analyze physically. All right. Or you can confirm, or you can confirm it with what you analyze physically. So this is the point where you see it. So many months of development that have taken space within your subconscious, you're seeing it collectively. All right. And congratulations. This is as titled, The Love Level Up. So I see some of you have ordered live readings, and I'm going to get to that right now. I'm not going to lie, I was feeling frustrated earlier because I got locked out a bit from my Instagram account. And it was when I was uploading that video about the cases for and against each nominee. And I thought I wasn't going to be able to log back in, but I was able to. Okay. Yes, I would. I remember I used to do these. I did used to do that. Maybe I'll bring it back. We'll see. But yeah, that being said, let's see what we got, y'all. Last thing I want to say though is, as you are going to be seeing this, and as this is going to be changing perspective, that final test with Saturn is to make sure, are you going to go backwards when there's pressure? The pressure of those who hate you and dislike you, they're so weak. They weren't able to shame or guilt manipulate you. They weren't able to peer pressure you. So they're going to come with this false sense of threat. Well, if you do this, I'm going to do that. And you guys are smart enough to realize y'all are just going to be like, show me something. Show me then. Show me. Anyone trying to threaten you indirectly or directly, ask them kindly to show you, because they don't want any problems with you. That's it. That's basically it. And once you kind of go through that final test, that these threats are completely meaningless, with which their own actions will demonstrate that, congratulations, you've made it, because they failed to stop you from really doing what you were always meant to do. Oh, okay. Beautiful. 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 Okay. So yeah. We're going to start with Jessica. All right. Jessica, we know that you have your rising in Cancer. So the 6th house Sagittarius axis you have is very amazingly demonstrated. And it puts you in a position to very powerfully change people's lives. The work you do with Shannon is very 6th house Sag. You're ascending people's lifestyle by showing them, the higher meaning. And it's very, very amazing, because it puts you in a position to really open up so much about how you realistically, change the way people visualize how they can live, and you show them what more they can live. All right. Oh, Darcy. Okay, so you just want me to do your Venus transits. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna make sure we do that. Thank you. And now Venus is going to be polishing up how you are continuing to ascend that. It's just going to renovate how you live your life. We want to see this as an update, especially since May, June, where since May, June, you're harvesting that evolution that occurred in your 11th house. All right. You did have that quadruple conjunction in your 11th. And what that represented in May was mainly you being put in a position to, you know, open up this greater sense of the quality of your community, what you bring to your community, who your real friends are. So you've harvested that in how much more creative you are, how purely creative your wisdom is, and how you're going to apply this wisdom into making more amazing your lifestyle. So it's just applying what you've recently evolved over the past 6 months, and we're going to see it. And then Mercury and the Sun are going to go through there, and it's going to really speak a lot towards not only your lifestyle development and how much more amazing you're sprucing up your routine, but now because Jupiter is in that 12th house, you are more connected with the angelic realm. I know that sounds pseudo, but you and I know what's up. The 12th house Jupiter Gemini aspect has evolved and released unconscious habits and beliefs. So the old thought process since 2012 around how it is you actually live your lifestyle and how it is you believe you should live your life, you're applying how much more you've evolved out of it. And it's going to give you so much more space and room for you to enjoy more how it is you live your life. And Venus just beautifying it is going to add a lot of dynamics that not only spice this up, and with the Uranus conjunction that'll be there too, make more unconventional and automate your income, but make it more fun. And to also really, you know, hook people up or induce romance around how it is you incorporate your lifestyle into your relationships. That's all going to influence the direction you take your partnerships once this goes into your seventh house, which is also really cool. All right, so that I just kind of want to really reinforce is integrating everything. All right. And Darcy, I got you. Much appreciated. Right Eye, I appreciate the donation. I refunded you. For readings of any kind, I always like to I only do that with the minimum. Anything less is a donation. So I appreciate you though. I really appreciate that. But yeah, that being said, Darcy, we do see that you have your Chiron on your AC in Aries. All right. And you were born on the new moon in Scorpio. So this new moon in Scorpio is going to be very, very pure, very, very, very return to form. And I think it's a blessing we have you here with us. So that's very revealing. To speak a little bit on that, you have Mercury in Scorpio right opposite Uranus. So I can imagine your brain is on fire. I can imagine like you're just claircognizantly discerning things about people where like you could have just met someone for the first time. And after they told you about the weather, you're just looking at them like, did your mother touch you as a child? And now they're just like, how did you know? I was just talking to, like, it's supernatural what you're doing. All right. It's very quick mannerisms in people's body language that Scorpio just tells you. So I'm even looking at your picture, like you have this very deep and powerful gaze that looks like you can see through people's souls. very strong energy, very pure energy. You are this wisdom, and you have Uranus on the DC. So like you irreparably or just very unconventionally innovate partnerships with people. You lead forward with this eccentricity that has you hold space. I've seen you do this, bro. That allows other people to feel comfortable or be okay being their eccentric and genius self. All right. So knowing that this Scorpio transit is going to be coming out your 8th and in your 9th house is one, it's going to raise the philosophy, the philosophical approach around how you show other people the value of your connections with them. Coming out the 8th, it's going to take everything you've established since May, which, by the way, all you Aries risings, you need to just accept that you're going to be set for life. Like I firmly, my hypothesis for May 18th is that, yeah, we really do. My hypothesis for May 18th is that, especially for Aries risings, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction with Venus we had in your 2nd house has innovated the evolution of your wealth. So we want to see now that it's harvesting, you're going to return on that investment. Like you're going to be investing all this new wealth towards other people. And this is going to show you how this unconventional evolution of your self-esteem and your confidence is reflecting in how much deeper you deal with others, how much more confident you stand on your wealth so people don't undercut you. And you're going to see the effect of it as it goes through Sagittarius. Once it reaches, thankfully, your Venus is on the 9th house cusp, okay? And that Venus return is going to coincide with the Jupiter opposition that's on your 3rd house, transiting Jupiter in your 3rd. So you've just finished evolving your money house. This is good. It's going to retrograde. So this is getting ready to apply the value of your own mindset and the angelic abilities, your communication abilities that you have. You're applying this evolution of mindset to see philosophically and to just see the meaning into how you're polishing what you communicate can be expressed. But because Venus is 30 degrees after your Scorpio sun, this is also going to work as money for you. The value of this philosophical approach, the philosophy around how you spend money, how you're seeing relative to other people, who you can trust with your value, who you can trust with maybe private or crucial elements of your own worth, okay? So that's a very important aspect and element. Neptune that you have in Sagittarius is, now that Venus has already activated it, going to really influence how your clairvoyant vision helps you see through the people you're dealing with. And that's where you're kind of dangerous, because people who speak to you don't realize that you have like a hidden camera, like you can see through and into them. And these are going to be through unconscious nuances that they may not even be aware. They're giving tells and signs, and you can just receive any sort of insight to come to this conclusion. Especially with people who have done you wrong. The square with that in Saturn, which is your 12th house, is really changing the perspective around what you used to doubt about yourself and others, and how you can see clearly into how you've changed these beliefs. I feel like with the Venus return, it's going to put you in more of a position to manifest what it is you wish to. And this is where I have the ultimate manifestation playlist. There's an amazing manifestation technique Sammy Ingram has resurrected. She made a video about this before, but just telling people what to do. This works for Scorpios the best, because Scorpio has the ability to control people's minds. So you can literally just be like, take me out, buy me a ring, buy me a dog, buy me a dog. And you don't have to repeat it. You can have the person in your mind's eye and just be like, hey, this is what it is. And like, I've seen, like, for Scorpio women especially, like, You can literally just talk to their high. You can just boom, and you don't have to do it like that. That's just like the idea around it. But the reason why I'm mentioning that is with Venus and Sagittarius and this visualization platform, manifesting that 30 degree, you can manifest as many cute boys as you want, or just the concept of who you want. You can literally even imagine the ideal person that you want, and they will show up. Okay. So you're not supposed to be with people you're not supposed to be with. You can literally just change that, right? How do you manifest without somebody in your head? It's cool. You don't even have to have someone in your head. You just have to tell yourself, you just have to speak and visualize. You don't have to see it. You just have to think and speak as if you already have it. And this is where you're going to naturally make this change because you're harvesting this facet of the cycle. So you want to ask yourself, are you reinforcing in your mind and how you're talking to yourself? Do you keep on telling yourself, people aren't treating me right? People aren't treating me right? Because that is what you could be experiencing. You're so strong and you have such powerful magic. The moment you just start to say and see, this is what it is now. Y'all are treating me right. You know what I mean? Many handsome individuals approach me. I have so many options. Whereas it will take the average person maybe a week or a couple of days, you're going to experience this instantly. And you can even practice. You can even try this right now. I'm going to send you to the Hipsy that link. I'm going to send you that link and you can check it out. I used it yesterday. I got results from it. I was surprised. And at the Gemini, and I'm telling you, at your level, you're going to experience it instantly. And the cool thing about this is it now takes back your power as a creator, and it asks you how much you really want something. So you're going to come back to be, and this is beautiful. You being yourself is linked to this new moon in Scorpio because you're releasing 12 previous months since last year, October. So it's okay for you to feel exhausted. You're going to get that energy back. Your Venus is going to return and it's going to really adjust more what you want to see. Boom. So I'll make sure I'll provide those links and I got you. Yeah, time for part 4 for sure. I gotta make another secret path video. So my good man Jack, appreciate you, bruh. All right. We know that that's what manifestation helped with me too. Like a lot of things that I thought I wanted, I realized I just liked the idea of, because when it came down to actually manifest it, like this, I'm like, I don't think I even really care that much. I think I just like, you know what I'm saying? And it gave me back the power. It's like, oh, and it helps me focus more on what I really do want and align it very powerfully. So John, we do see that you have your rising in Pisces. And the cool thing for you, bro, is that Sag is your 10th house and you have Saturn in Sag. So all the Venus, Mercury, and Sun in Sag is your legacy. It's your career. It's going to show you everything since March, April, and May. You began to activate, especially with what you were talking to me about when you were here, or as far as like, your team and like making sure stuff is there. I think this is where you're going to start to see, of course, coming into the end of the year. Oh, we have approved this. Oh, you can get that %. This is going to polish the vision of your goals. And it's going to show you how fucking badass you are, bro. How you've accomplished it, how you're getting ready to move forward. And that's going to prepare you for the end of the year in Capricorn, where everything you see, right, relative to March, where you're like, this is who I believe I can be. This is what I believe I can accomplish. Now you're going to see I've accomplished it. And that's going to influence what direction you take, as this will adjust your perception, because now you're seeing and perceiving, oh, what I previously believed, it's happening. So this is where I'm going to take it. All right. So you want to see this, bro, as the finish line. You are completing hard work you've put in since the beginning of the year. And that's going to really align a lot more with your Leo moon, with your Aries sun. That grand fire trine is literally going to link to your 2nd house of money. If you see what I'm saying, there's going to be a lot of unconventionality. And because it's opposite Jupiter transiting your 4th, It's going to really shift the perspective of where you want to take your real estate ventures, any moving you may do, and how you're going to evolve your comfort zone around how much more success you're comfortable achieving. So this is actually really beautiful. This works very, very powerfully. This is actually really, really beautiful. Okay. And it puts you in a position. Let me show you an example of how manifestation works that really blew my mind yesterday, and how it's linked. Manifestation is always connected, right? I remember I needed some money. I needed to, a bit of extra money yesterday. And I was going to be like, okay, let me go do this to get some money. And visibly, like, I audibly heard a deeper voice in me like, hey, relax. I'll take care of it. It was like my Capricorn, like, I'll take care. You don't need to do that. Just relax. Go get what you wanted. The money will come. No more than like 10, 20 minutes later, somebody reached out to me and said, hey, can I pay you this much amount of money so that we can go over something? And then I found out that this being is an angel who changes people's lives. And not only did I help her, she helped me. We literally both manifested each other. All I did was affirm, I'm going to get the money I need today. I didn't have to visualize things. I didn't have to repeat anything. I didn't know how it was going to happen. And the reason why I'm sharing the story is this isn't the first time something like this has happened to me. It's not the second time. It's not the third time. It's not the fourth time. But the speed, the nature, and the quality with which these experiences happen are so much quicker, are so much more defining. And that represents your shift. You see how we both helped each other out, though. Her manifestation was linked with my manifestation because all manifestation is finished. Belief truly is magic. Just imagine if you believe miracles happen once in a while. When you didn't see Princess Diaries? You don't have two. I have younger sisters, so I had no choice. I had to see this movie. You've never seen Princess Diaries with Anne Hathaway? You've never seen that classic? Oh, I feel bad for you. So it is, the miracles happen once in a while if you believe. That's what I still don't understand how I remember that song. Yes, you've never seen one of the greatest Disney movies of all time, Princess Diaries, if it's even a Disney movie. You haven't seen it? What? Okay. My bad, Dev. Shout out to the Uber drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver. Other than that, yeah, you guys are fucking awesome per usual. I'm very grateful for each and every single one of you. You guys make what I do genuinely fun. And we out here doing the Lord's work. I stand on that. Okay. As you deal with people who hate what you represent, just keep representing it clearly. The only revenge you're going to gain forever is truly enjoying and being yourself, truly enjoying and loving every facet about what you do, having integrity in what you do, as this is going to piss off those who what you do goes against their beliefs. Okay. Imagine someone who believes that reading tarot cards for people is of the devil. And now they see that you're changing people's lives. No one has ever said you've scammed them or done anything bad to them reading tarot. That directly goes against their beliefs that were never true. And they can hold resentment for you because you're creating that cognitive dissonance within them. And they're just going to project unless they look in the mirror. Okay. So that being said, keep up the great work. Look forward to this development in relationships with others. And I will catch you next week where we're going to really talk about how dark this Scorpio season is set to be. You guys have a blessed weekend. And until next week.